Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. Where are we? There we are. Today is Thursday. It's November 10th, 2022. That's 2 days to Free Training Day Northeast. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. That's very warm. Good morning to Mark, Liz, Stacy, Dennis, Jenny, and all the rest of you, whether you're watching now or at some point into the future. Tommy, who else is here? Dennis says, we're only 48 hours away from the first ever First Cup live and in living color from Keene, New Hampshire. Can I hear a woo? Oh, good morning, Shabashi. So this is a transitional day. I work a half day here, more than a half day. I work here and car gets loaded up and then I drive to Keene and it just starts. Andrew and I put together vehicles tonight. I've got meetings tomorrow related to things on Saturday. It's just we're cranking. We are absolutely cranking. I'm super excited. I know many of you in the chat are going to be there. Some of you will not be there. That's okay. One of the things I try to be careful of is I want to make sure that despite all of the excitement, that people who are unable to come or choose not to come don't feel left out. You know, this is a big thing that we do, but it doesn't mean that the other things that we do are only to get you to go to this thing. We hope you come to this thing or one of the other things, but it's about choice. It's about value. It's the free market. It's all those things. And if you want to come, cool. If you don't, that's okay. I don't dislike you. I am sure I will have messages over the next couple of days where people say, Jeremy, I'm so sorry I can't come. Don't apologize to me. I'm going to be there. I'm going to have a great time. Apologize to yourself. You don't owe me attending this event. It's okay. Jenny says, I may be listen only tomorrow morning because we will be packing the car with stuff and kids to hit the road. I will be broadcasting from the hotel. I'll be coming to you live from the hotel room. Good morning, John. Stacy says, woo, 36 hours to hugs. Yeah, that's a great point. Good morning, Brian. You guys are all ridiculous. Brian being here saves me having to send a message. Brian, I can't go to class on Monday. Wish I had known sooner. There are things in place post Free Training Day that I have scheduled. So, but if I don't, Tommy's gonna be there tomorrow afternoon. It's gonna be crazy. Andrew and I. One of the things that we do, because what's interesting about a free event like this is we don't require registration. There's really no need. We don't want to put any barriers up that prevent people from attending. So we take a look at the numbers that are on the Facebook event, and we kind of listen to what people are talking about. And last year we had somewhere between 120 and 150 people. We're not 100% sure. It looked like there were some people who snuck in and did not sign the release forms, which is how we count last year. And just as an aside, all of you who are coming, if you see somebody without a name tag, ask them, where's your name tag? Because they get their name tag when they sign in. And that's how we count. So with those numbers, we're not expecting to go down at all. We're expecting to go up. And so the prediction is 200 people. 200 people in that facility. I'm expecting we're going to have 50 to 75 at dinner. It's, we'll probably have 30 people at tomorrow night's meet and greet, maybe more. It's going to be a great time. And Andrew and I had a quick chat yesterday talking about a number of things. And one of the things that I'm super proud of is that our free event runs smoother than most paid events. Think about most of the martial arts events you've been to. You probably haven't been to any that are free other than Free Training Day, maybe a few. But in terms of an all day or a weekend long sort of event, show me one that runs smoother and show me one that's free. Crushing the value proposition. So it is Thursday, and I was working on pulling up YouTube when the show started, and I just didn't get there in time because today's episode, I clearly have the wrong account. Hold on. No, this one. There it is. Oh, that's one's today. Okay. I am so excited about this episode. Andrew and I did something completely different, completely fun, and I hope that you enjoy it because I found it a really interesting challenge. Here's what we did. All right. Dennis says, there is no event that runs smoother. None. Mark says, 300 people. This is Free Training Day. I don't know if we'll be able to accommodate 300 people. Andrew's already kind of freaking out. He's like, we're going to have to move it next year. I was like, chill out, dude. Let's just get through this year first. Now that we found this wonderful facility, let's not. The economics of a free event where you don't have to pay for the space, it's the only reason it works. Or you pay minimally. When we had it at schools, we would pay like a couple $100. We had one where they said, just pay for the custodian. They wanted a custodian there for the day. Fine. And that always comes out of my pocket. But I believed in the long-term viability of the event. And this year, we make a few dollars. Not much, but we make a few dollars. How cool is that? I think last year we made like $10. It was very little. But so this episode is titled Martial Arts Word Association. I had this idea. I brought it to Andrew and I said, okay, you give me random words and I have to riff on them without stopping to think about it and relate it to martial arts. And we did it. I think we had 4 or 5. I didn't know the words ahead of time. And we just went. And I thought it came out really cool. So that's today's episode. It's available now. Check it out. And we need feedback on this. If this was fun, if you enjoyed this, let us know. And this might become something that we do routinely. I'm not aware of any other podcast doing this. And it could be an opportunity for people to contribute words, kind of like the Q&As. You could send in words to Andrew. Could be fun. So check it out. Let me know what you think. I'm going to tip this down just a hair. Right now it's crooked, but whatever. Dennis says, I'm still charging for hugs, so I'll be making a mint. All right, this is gonna go sideways fast. I'm not gonna read the follow-up text messages there. So what else? Had an interesting structural integration appointment last night. For those of you who don't know, structural integration, also called Rolfing, is similar to massage, but instead of intending to operate on the muscles, it operates on the fascia. There's some kind of cool stuff going on in the research world around fascia. There's a working theory that a lot of bodywork practitioners would vouch for, where emotion is stored in fascia. But a lot of odd bone and muscle issues. I can't even put that contraction together this morning. Are not actually muscle issues. It's that the fascia scars and pulls things out of place. And I had this feeling that something was off in here and it was pulling things off. And the therapist could see it when he was done. My chest opened up Like I was broader and I felt it. It was really interesting. It was painful. It's not a pleasant experience. It's not like, oh, massage, just, but if you're familiar with Gua Sha or Graston, operates on kind of the same principles. So if you've got some stuff that maybe you're having a hard time tracking down, finding a good structural integrator might be a helpful thing for you to do. Good morning, Josh. You guys are so silly. I love it. Let's see. What else? It looked like a ton of the stuff that it looked like a ton of stuff people ordered shipped over the last 48 hours. So I'm hopeful that those of you that had some things that you were hoping for free training day, it looks like much of it's going to arrive either just before or just after. So apologies to those of you negatively impacted there. And again, if somebody's really, really sad about that, reach out to me and I will find a way to make it right, because it is my fault. I own it. What else? It's cold out. It was cold last night. Got a lot of work done. Stuff is all staged to go in the car. Almost everything is packed and ready. Well, no, it's laid out because I'm not sure which car I'm taking. That's a question. Do I take the bigger car, which sucks on gas and is louder and actually less fun to drive, but fits way more stuff? Or do I take the car that's going to have the snow tires, gets better gas, doesn't need the snow tires for this weekend, so will be clickety on the pavement because studded snow tires, and doesn't quite hold as much? I don't know. So that's why I haven't packed it, because I'm not sure. The RAV goes in for snow tires pretty much right after the show, and then I'll pick it up sometime later. I've got meetings all morning, and we'll see where it takes me. I don't know. We'll figure it out. This says hello from the Whistlekick Twitches. Just a reminder, all of you who are helping out watching on Twitch, I appreciate you. Thank you. We're trying to get over 3.0 average for the full episode, which really means we need one more person watching all the time. We've got, I don't know for sure, but it looks like 5 people watching right now. There might be more. But those of you who can, please watch on Twitch, please. There's a plan. There's a Twitch plan, and I can't do anything with it until we get over that hump. Jenny says, those of us who practice yoga may have experienced the mind-body connection. There are times when the right sequence of poses done in the right way at the right time can bring on an incredibly spiritual release of emotions. Similar idea. Rather than those being stuck emotions released, to me, that is things being more grounded and flowing better. But it is similar. The idea that emotions are something that only exist in the brain, it's not. I don't believe it's true. I was having a conversation. I've known the structural integrator. I've known him for 15 years. He's a good guy. And we were having a conversation about other practitioners that I'm working with right now, and some of them being, the term he uses is woo-woo, and he's a little more science driven, but carves out space for woo-woo. And I said, look, woo-woo is just stuff that we don't understand yet, like smell. Do all of you know that we don't understand how smell works? We understand how hearing works. We understand how vision works. We have a pretty good understanding of taste. We're not 100% there. Touch is pretty solid. We don't really understand smell. We don't understand smell. So the next time somebody tells you, science says this, you can remind them of that. Now, I'm not saying that statement in reference to anything. I'm certainly not. But there's one thing that we can say definitively. The only thing that science has ever truly proven is that past science was wrong because of the scientific method. Stacy says Twitch seems to be the corner for more silliness and love, if that's even possible, but I do miss the floating disembodied faces and hearts. I get it. Dennis says, for what it's worth, the delay is about 2 seconds less than on Facebook, so you'll always hear it first on Twitch. I have noticed that. I've definitely noticed that at our peak, when I used to watch it, we were like 10 to 12, sometimes 15 seconds delayed on a live stream on Facebook, but Twitch is 2 to 3 seconds. It's pretty incredible. Do we need Twitch hats and bow staffs instead of brooms? Hey, go for it. Jenny says, so there's scientifically no explanation for why I can smell the funk in my boys' room, but they seem to nose blind to it. I don't know if it's a scientific explanation, but we do tend to normalize the things we are experienced to consistently. That includes smell. I would assume it is an evolutionary adaptation, because otherwise, how could animals live in gross smelling like caves, right? It gets kind of gross in there, but they don't notice it because otherwise they'd make themselves gross. And here's Dennis on Facebook this time. Jenny, facts. I've been in yoga practice and seen folks break down in tears at the end due to the emotional release. Pretty powerful stuff. It's similar. I'm not saying it's not real, and I'm not saying that the two aren't similar. They're slightly different. In order to unpack fascia, it really takes pressure. It's not something you're going to get with stretching the tissue. It requires digging, generally. Dobby says, my mom would come in the room and yell and say, I don't live in an armpit. That's funny. Dennis says, there's a 15-year-old boy across the hall from us. The funk is real. You guys are great. All right. Now, Frank did send some stuff over for us to talk about. I did not have it queued up, but I'm about to get it now. And thank you, as always, to Frank for what you do for the show. Thank you to Josh for our theme song. And it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. All right. And there we are. So, per Frank, I'd like to dedicate today's episode to my friend Andrew Adams. Today is a landmark day in the history of martial arts cinema. You guys. It is the 33rd anniversary of the martial arts classic. It's in capital letters. Classic. Best of the best. Here's some trivia from imdb.com. Opening weekend, U.S. and Canada, $990,000, November 12th, 1989. In today's currency, that comes to about $2.3 million. What was the budget to make it? $12? $13? That's not very good. MMA legend Chuck Liddell names Best of the Best is his favorite martial arts movie. All right. I've said it. I'll say it again. If you watch this movie when it came out, it occupies a different place. All movies, and actually, who did I don't remember the actor's name, so I'll skip that portion. But I was watching something yesterday from a gentleman who's made film, somebody you'd recognize physically, and he was responding to a question. Does it make you sad you couldn't make that movie today? And he said, no, actually, that's the whole point, is that when you create a piece of art, excuse me, my body struggled at using that word in reference to our conversation. When you make a piece of art, you're making it for the people and the times, right? Like it exists at that time. And to bring it forward and to make changes to it is a bit hollow. big Star Wars fans know that, as George Lucas started to introduce CGI and make revisions to the Star Wars films, the original trilogy. But it's not sad that you couldn't make that movie back then today. That movie exists back then. And to fully understand it, this is me saying it now, in order to fully understand it and appreciate it, you have to put yourself, you have to go back. That's when I watched The Princess Bride. I did not like it. But I then watched it again, trying to pretend I was 13, which is about how old I was when it was made, something like that. It was a whole different experience, and I really did enjoy it. So there you go. Mark says, I'm glad you called it art. And Dennis says, martial arts legend Dennis Campo lists best of the best as his John. You guys. Tommy says, I was competing when it came out. It wasn't close to real life, but still enjoyed it. And Jenny says, follow this if you will. My husband's grandmaster is Hosik Pak, who is one of the Korean team members from Best of the Best. Yes, I'm unfortunately connected to that film. Hey, if you dig it, that's fine. Go for it. Dig it. Who am I to judge? Well, I'm me, and I get to judge whatever I want. And I'm going to judge that movie. I am glad so many people like it. Just because I think it's terrible. Yeah, Stacy agrees. Oh, yeah, some movies can only be watched looking backwards. So true. And I think you could say that about most martial arts films. They're kind of cheesy. Is the reverse true? If we took something like The Raid or John Wick, which are often held up as the best examples of current martial arts movies, if we took those back 30 years, what would people think? My suspicion is people would find them overly violent, and they would assume they were sped up, that there was some kind of trickery going on in the editing. And they'd probably also really struggle with Keanu Reeves being that old. Be like, wait, is that dude from Bill and Ted? And then it says, a Netflix series for Best of the Best is long overdue. Whatever did happen to Alex Grady and Tommy Lee? And Stacy says, that's part of the Kicks and Flicks review process. How would it be seen then, and did it stand the test of time? Jenny says, we're open to discussion on this show, and in the Whistle Kick family, I still love you all, even if your taste in movies is questionable at best. I only like the Best of the Best for the laughter it generates in this community. Ha! And we've got one more. Simon and Philip Ree, Daehan and Tommy Lee, are real-life brothers. And I think a lot of people know that. When I think about my path, I would like to be in a movie. I don't think I want to be the lead in a movie with a whole bunch of dialogue, but I'd like to be in a film, especially if I get to do my own fight work. I think that would be a lot of fun. I'd love to learn that. I know so many people who've done it and do it, and would just be kind of cool. I've said it before. I will say it again. It is my hope that we reach a point where we have the reach. The word reach too many times. That we can have our own in-house martial arts film department, and we can release a modernized kind of cheesy martial arts film, every month or two. I would love to do that. I think that would be so much fun. And then anybody who wants to act in these films, we pull from internal. Like, all right, we're going to pay you $12 a day, like jury duty, go over here. But then you get to say you were in a movie. Be a good time, right? Stacy. Did we get best of the best swag for the swag bags? No, you did not. Nope. Unless Andrew bought something. I don't think he did. But if he hears this, he may go try to find something. So we'll find out. Josh says, martial arts movies? Cheesy? Nah. The Kicks and Flicks team has been stuck trying to write a review of a Seagal movie for the past 2 to 3 months. Got to be some other reason. Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, I think we're at the end. Go check out today's episode of Martial Arts Radio. Let me know what you think. Post it in the Facebook group. If you're not in that Facebook group, Whistlekick Martial Arts Radio behind the scenes, it is a private group. But if you don't do Facebook or don't want to post it there, you can message me on Facebook. You can email me, jeremy@whistlekick.com. You can email Andrew at whistlekickmartialartsradio.com. We want to know what you think of this, because we try to bring you things that you like and you find interesting and different and fun. And the feedback's important. So you can do that. If you are coming to Free Training Day this weekend, I would suggest that you maybe print out, we put up the schedule, the descriptions on the Facebook event. And even if you don't use Facebook, you should be able to see all of that. One thing I will say, I've had several people write to me and say, can you email that to me? You should be able to, from your phone, save the image and then email it to yourself. I don't know if people don't know that or if they're trying to make me do their work. I'm not sure. But I'm not going to be able to do that for everyone. That's why we posted it. Case. I will be around but busy most of tomorrow until the meet and greet tomorrow. So if you get into Keene and you're like, I want to hang out with Jeremy, please respect that that's not going to be an option. And I will see everybody bright and early on Saturday if I don't see you Friday night. For those of you not attending, we are doing a special episode of First Cup Saturday at 6:30 a.m. And if that time has to change, we will put up an event for it. So you should get a notification. But if it's going to stand for 6:30, there won't be an event. I do hope to see some of you join us, because we'll have a bunch of people in the breakfast room and they'll all want to say hi. It'll be funny because we'll go live and we'll have like 0 people watching because they'll all be in the room, which is totally cool. And otherwise, if you want to support, don't forget Patreon starts at $2 a month. And you've got the code FIRSTCUP15 to save 15% on anything at whistlekick.com. If you're coming to Free Training Day, don't buy anything today. We have special discounts that will be even a little bit better this weekend. Hello, Victor. Victor says, wishing I could be there next time. Hope so, my man. Left Flag Jay says, you should see a little film called Gymkata. I've heard about it. I have not been able to pull the trigger on watching it. Lou, have a great day. You too. All right. Take care, everyone. I'll see hopefully all of you tomorrow for Friday. Peace.